Don't we have a tractor for this?
Welcome back to the channel. It is a mid-January day, and I guess temperatures are typical in the minus 14 to 16 range, and that's about minus 23 or so in wind chill, if you understand that. I'll put that in Fahrenheit below for my friends down south, who I understand are getting really bad weather and really cold weather. So I feel for you, and I hope you do well and stay warm. So in this video, we're going to use the BX and we're going to clear the trails. I have been just walking down the farm every day and making foot trails, but it's getting kind of treacherous, so I'm going to use the BX with the front mount snowblower, and we're going to clear the trails down there and see how that goes. So just a couple things to consider when it's this cold out, and that is, in our area, our fuel companies add additives to the fuel to allow it to work in freezing temperatures. I don't know if you can see me or if it's just dark for some reason. But I still do like to add a bit of anti-gel to my fuel, even though it is done from the plant or the factory or the refinery, I guess. So we'll be doing that. I also like to add it before I add the fuel so it gets mixed up better, as opposed to just topping it off and having it sit at the top of the tank and having to have it do its own circulating to get to the filters quicker, I guess. The other thing that's nice to have when it's this cold is a jump pack, a little booster for your battery, because a lot of people think that when it gets really cold that their fuel might gel up, but in actuality it's just that the batteries are really cold. And if your batteries are like 5 years old or older, then you might have starting problems that you think is from fuel, but it could actually just be that the batteries are really cold. I do store mine in the shop, so I don't really have a problem with that. But if you do store your machines outside, you know, think about picking up a booster pack or seeing if you have a plug-in heater for your oil pan, which I do. I'll show you that right now. But I haven't used it yet because I do store mine indoors. So, but there's my plug-in right there. I have not used it yet, but it's there in case it gets really cold. I would be able to plug that in. Just warms up the fluid inside a bit faster, so it allows you to start better. One other thing to note is everyone knows that you should let your machines warm up before you run them to allow the HST fluid to circulate and get warm up to temperature. But realize that that only accounts for the stuff that's in the tractor. When you're letting it warm up, it isn't warming up the stuff in the lines, because that is past this recirculation pump, and these implements do not get that warm fluid while your tractor is idling. So when you do go to start up your tractor, let it warm up, but then when you go to use your implements, do it really slowly. Let the fluid kind of able to meander nicely or in a controlled manner, as opposed to just going full tilt on left and right or up and down, or however you do your chutes and your other implements. So make sure that you do that slowly until the warm fluid mixes with the cold fluid in your lines, because that could also cause a problem. And the last point I'd like to make is, if you're just snow blowing with your tractor, just let some air out of your tires. It will make it a lot easier to get some traction if you're on more slopes or whatever and you don't have chains. You can let some air out of your tires. You'll get more ground connection, and you'll find that things work a lot better. Especially because you know you're not going to be lifting stuff with a bucket or a backhoe. You can definitely let some air out and play with that to see what works best for you and your conditions. Just make sure you put them up to the operating pressure in the summertime before you start using your heavy lift items. But for snow blowing, you're just pushing, you're not really lifting much, that's perfectly fine. All right, let's put some fuel in this and then we'll go do some trails. So this is what I'll be using. You guys can pick up whatever you want, but just make sure it has the winterizing anti-gel stuff. I know a lot of people have done reviews on this stuff, so maybe check out some of the other channels, like Brock at Rock Hill Farms just talked about it, and so did Project Farm channel. He did a really good review on anti-gelling, anti-fouling stuff. So I don't know if you caught that, but that was just regular diesel. I usually use colored diesel or red diesel for tractors, but our local gas station that has that has closed for renovations and they won't be open till next year. So I've had to use regular diesel and not colored. So I did pay a bit more, but it's the same stuff. And they do add the anti-gel winterize additives to it. So I'm not too worried about it, but you did see that I added some of my own. So let's get the tractor outside, warmed up, and get plowing. Or get snowblowing, I guess. I keep calling it plowing. Leave me a comment in this video and let me know if you call it plowing or snowblowing and plowing, depending on what you use. I kind of use them interchangeably and it kind of bothers me, but here we go. So I'll get it started up and we'll pull it out. All right, we're good to go. Let's start. I'm just gonna, the first thing we're gonna do is head straight down the wood chip road. And I like to go down the wood chip road and around to the gravel pad. My reasoning for that is so that in the springtime when the snow melts, it doesn't have as much snow on the wood chip road to dry out as it would if it had to melt the whole thing. My reasoning of that is the wood chip road is wood and it does need to be refreshed every couple of years so that because it biodegrades and stuff like that. So I like to try to keep as much water off it in the spring as possible. So I like to do that, and then we'll go and do a trip around the hedges to the barn and then up to the house so I can walk. This is always tricky because I usually blow the driveway onto here. So this is a windrow that's really tough. So sometimes it takes a bit to get through. So let's set you up here and we'll see how this goes. Looks about right. Let's start. Alright, so there is the Woodchip Road all cleared out. Did a fantastic job. All the way down. So a lot of people have been asking me, do you use float mode or do you just kind of leave it in a position? Two things. One is on this job, I kept it off of not in float. And the reason I did that is because last video, I raised the shoes up, which meant the snowblower is now sitting basically on the ground. And in some spots you can see I dug up some of my wood chips. Now, if I would have left the snowblower fully down, it would have probably scraped a lot more. So I was playing with the height of the snowblower to try to minimize that, because this road is wavy. So while the machine comes up, the snowblower comes up, but then when the machine starts to come down, the snowblower digs into the ground. So I was not in float mode. I could have lowered the shoes a bit, which would have raised the snowblower, and then I probably would have had a better chance of just letting it ride, but I did not. I'd like to just take a moment of your time and say thank you to a member of the channel. His name is Carl. Carl, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Reach out to me if you'd like, and I'd be happy to talk with you. So let's get back to it. We're going to start going now from back at the hedge line over to the farm, so we'll go do that section now. This is what I was talking about. I'm not in float mode, so this section there's a lot more snow, but then the ground comes down, so then that means that the snowblower catches, and then it goes up that pass dip, and the snowblower misses, and then when we come back down the dip, it catches again. So I really should have lifted up the shoes, but I'm not worried about doing a little bit of grass cutting. BX is doing a fantastic job. All right, so I'm just gonna set you up over here, walk through the deep snow for you. It's nice to see the sun out. It's been gloomy here a lot lately for the last month and a half. So I'll set you up. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go along here around the wood pile, over to the doors of the barn. You can see where I do my walking trail. So that's basically what we're going to plow up to the house. Traditionally, this section past this tree is difficult. It's on an incline. But when I plow between the shop and the house, I shoot it over the fence. So that's really dense, heavy snow. And then what we'll do is we'll come down here and clear out this section here. See how that goes. Ooh, camera's getting cold. Sorry about that. So we'll just clear out all that area there. That's going to make things a lot easier to get around and get stuff. Let's check out the water. Let's see how the water is. Wow, camera is really. So it's minus 14. I got running water. So if you haven't checked that out, I have a whole video series on putting water down here, because for the past 4.5 years I was hand bombing water twice a day in buckets for the pigs and the chickens. So having that down there, amazing. Took me a long time, but it's done. Alright, so now we're going to head up this way. Let's see how that goes. I'm just going to clean up around the propane tank. There's some tips for you on the cold weather starting and using up your snowblower on your BX36s. You got to watch me do some trails and stuff. So if you like this content, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Share it with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. So thanks very much for watching. What did you do on your land today? Get out there and do something. Send me a message. Tell me what you did. Have a good one. We'll see you in the next one. Puppies. There's all the puppies. We're out enjoying the nice day. I'm going to see if I can send Aiden out to shovel that, because I don't want to hurt. Alright, look at that beautiful day. Alright, I'm just going to do one last pass around and put it away, so that'll be it.
Don't we have a tractor for this?
All right, thank you very much, everybody. See you in the next one.